All right. Hello. James here. Hey, welcome to today's live session. Find your voice on social media. All right. So, I want to do a quick tech check. So, if you're watching right now live with us, let us know where you are watching, whether it's on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Please let us know if you can see me and hear me okay. So I have Robbie on the back. I'll invite him to the live in just a minute. All right. Yeah, so anyone can let us know in the comments, please. We do have some people watching right now. All right, so let me get Robbie here. Hey, yep.
Hey,
Hey, Robbie, welcome back. All right, so I'm just asking if people can see us and hear us okay. So we have Michelle said hello. Yes, I can hear you and see you. I think Michelle is on Facebook. And Rita, hi Rita, great to see you again. So Rita is on YouTube. Lisa, hi Lisa, watching from YouTube. And Makila, from LinkedIn. Hey, great. So Makila, you can hear us okay, right? Awesome. All right, thank you guys for showing up today. Yeah, so I'm with Robin today. We're gonna talk about social media. What we're gonna do is I want to quickly introduce myself, and I'll let Robbie introduce himself as well, just in case you don't know us very well. All right. So my name is James. We I work with Bowie Strategy. We help teachers. Focus on helping teachers. Right now, we call it turn their teaching expertise into income, impact, and the freedom. So what we do at Bowie Strategy, we provide all the coaching, training to help teachers understand the strategies, the skills they can use to develop services, either it's one-on-one, group, or digital assets, digital products, or even membership, to use these products to make more money online. So that's what we do. And if you this is your first time or you're new to us, please follow us on social media. Depending on where you watch, follow us on YouTube or LinkedIn, and also Robbie gonna share his LinkedIn with you guys. If you don't have us, you can follow Robbie on LinkedIn and also Facebook. Okay, so I'm gonna if you want to know more about me myself, just join these live sessions. I'll share a little bit more next time. I'll turn it to Robbie for now.
yeah, I'll keep this really brief. But if we haven't met before, hi, thank you for joining. It's really cool to be here to be able to talk about this topic with you. So my name is Robbie, and I guess like many of you who are watching, I come from a teaching background right up until 2020. I was teaching ESL here in my home city of Dublin. I was working as an assistant director of studies, and I really enjoyed the job. Of course, the pandemic happened, and that kind of pushed me into this online space. So I began, the teacher entrepreneur journey, starting a business, focusing on a niche, creating a program, and throughout 2021 it was an amazing experience, an incredible learning experience, a lot of ups and downs. And towards the end of that year, I became more and more passionate about working with other teachers, in particular, sharing a lot of the marketing and the sales things that had helped me on my own journey. So around 2022, James and I kind of formalized our partnership, and he invited me to become a part of the Bowie team, and it's been awesome. It kind of feels like things have come full circle since then, because in my previous life, pre-COVID, I was working as an assistant director of studies. I was helping teachers. I was doing some teacher training. Now I get to do the same thing again, albeit now with these new skills, these marketing skills, sales skills that can help teachers have more independence and more impact and more income. So how did I do? Did I keep that? Did I keep that short?
Yeah, time flies, Robbie. Time flies. I remember the first time we went together. That was in the inner circle. Probably it's August 2021 or
One
22, 2021.
2021.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got it. All right. Nothing changed. Just aged for a few years, I guess. All right. So yeah, thanks again for everyone for joining us today, spending time with us. So before we dive into social media, another quick reminder. Just want to share with you here, just in case you don't know, we have this event homepage. I'm gonna share the link with you guys in the chat in just a minute. So we run live events, free live events every month. It can be 3, 4, 5 even live events. I know maybe you don't have time for all of them, but if you have time, definitely join us live. You can watch me and our team talking about different things. And even if you can't join any of the events with this homepage, you will be able to watch recordings. Okay, you will be able to watch recordings. So I'm gonna share this link with you just in a minute. But one thing I want you to do, if you can, is there's actually a link on the top. So this is pretty cool because it can sync our live event to your calendar. If you click on add to calendar, you can choose which calendar you use. If you're using online calendar, if you don't, I highly recommend you start using online calendars. It's gonna be super, super convenient. Okay, so things not gonna be messed up if you use online calendar. So you choose which one, and then our calendar will be added to a calendar. Then you will see all the future events. Whenever we add events to this calendar, you will see it. See, for right now, we have 5 upcoming events. You can see them on the list, and all of them are gonna show up on your calendar once you click on this link on the top. Okay, click here to subscribe to our calendar, and you can see all the events already lined up for June 2024. So this 2-day teacher online success summit, highly recommend you join us. This is a place where we're going to talk about all the opportunities for teachers online, tutoring, starting your own business, working with companies, agencies, selling products for passive income, or run memberships, and what is needed to do that. We talk about different platform technologies, AI, and tools. So whether you are new to this online world at all, you're gonna learn a lot, or you're experienced online teacher, you're gonna still learn a lot from this, because we talk about different business models, different tools you can use to even make more money online as an online teacher. Okay, so register for free. Click on the link. You will be able to register for free and joining our online events. If you don't have time, you can also receive recordings after the events if you register. Okay, and this is the session we have right now. If you missed it, click on any of the links. You can watch the recording. And we have an interview with Meredith. She's a client of us, and we just worked together on launching her membership. At this interview, we're going to talk about her journey from teaching one-on-one to teaching groups to running membership. It's going to be super cool to see how she involved her business in the past few months. It's super cool. So any of the events is going to take you to the live events on June 13th. And we have this monthly party. Okay, we do have parties every month. And if you want to join us, click on the link. You can join us on June 20th. Okay, so very quickly, just want to share all the exciting events we're running this month. Since you are here or you're watching the recording, make sure you come to this link. I'm gonna share with you in just a minute. Okay, all right, that's all I wanted to tell you right now. So are we good? We got quite a few people here. So yes, if you haven't introduced yourself in the chat, please do that. Say hello to each other, okay? All right, so now I will stop sharing and we'll talk about social media, okay? All right, so let me ask you, Robbie, what is social media and why you are using it as a teacher? So think about from a teacher's perspective. So how do you feel about social media?
Okay, that's a good question, right? So let me preface that by saying pre-2020, I didn't have any social media, right? I didn't have Facebook. I didn't have Instagram. I had LinkedIn. I think I set up LinkedIn in 2019, but again, like just out of necessity for work. So social media for me, my relationship with it was this is something I need to do if I want to make this online, solopreneur stuff work. This is something I need to come to terms with, and I need to learn to embrace, and I need to overcome my own limiting beliefs and my own insecurity around it. So that's how my relationship with social media started in 2020. And like just before we went on, James, we were talking about how a good thing to mention today, if anyone watching this feels about social media a similar way to the way I've just described that I used to feel about it. The good news is like that relationship can change. Now you do have to go through stages. You do have to go through that kind of messy, scary learning phase. But the cool thing is you can get to a point where your relationship to social media can evolve to where you actually view it as something very cool, very exciting, and something to actually be thankful for. Because what do we use social media for? Well, we put content out into the world, and we use that content to attract the right people to us. You know, the community we want to build our business around, and the people we want to serve. And how cool is that actually? It doesn't cost you any money. You can put your ideas, you can put your value out into the world organically, and you can attract these people to you. And again, I didn't develop that understanding overnight, but I think it's an important thing to say for anyone who kind of feels apprehensive or nervous or anxious or afraid of social media or posting content or putting yourself out there. Yes, it is scary at first, but the good news is your relationship, your perspective of it can evolve to a point where you're actually grateful for it, and it actually feels kind of
Yeah,
cool. Like, so just before we went live, I spent an hour
yeah,
and a half maybe writing a post and putting it out there and hitting send. And before, I would have felt very anxious about it. Okay, is this going to get a good response? You know, did I do the right things here? And now the way I look at it is, I had a message I wanted to communicate. It was a lesson I've learned. And if only one person happens to stumble across that post today and reads it and walks away feeling a little bit more encouraged or a little bit more understood or a little bit more empowered, like mission accomplished.
gotcha.
So
It's great. It's great. Wow, thanks for sharing that, Robbie. So I guess that resonates with a lot of teachers because that's kind of the whole journey you have to go through regardless. And I'm not a teacher, but I was really kind of cautious about social media. I was really kind of nervous about social media at first when I decided to start my business, start to using social media for my business. I remember that was like January 2019. I just started a business. I know I need to go online to tell people about my business, right? And I was on LinkedIn and I was thinking, okay, I have 800 connections at the time. All of them are my, colleagues, previous colleagues and friends, right? I was a consultant at the time, and then was like, okay, I'm gonna tell people, I'll tell the world I started this business now. All right, so then I was super nervous, but then I decided to do it because I have to do it. And then what surprised me was I got a lot of comments, a lot of comments from these colleagues and friends that I had, and it's just like they were like so supportive. It was like, James, oh great, hey, kudos, hey, great job, and we admire you that you have this brave, you're brave enough to start a business. So a lot of supporting, like very supporting comments, a lot of very nice comments that really get me feel like, okay, yeah, it's not that scary, right? Just like show the world what you really think and what you want, and then yeah, so that's kind of the first post, the very first post I made on social media. Then really got me think, okay, it's okay to do it. So I think that happens, and but the thing is, why I do feel that social media is necessary. I think probably already comment on that. So uh, as a teacher, if you are like thinking about making money online, having your own business online, right? Social media is free, right? You come here, you post things, it's free. It's a great place to start getting traction, getting people to know about your business. That's exactly the reason I did it. So on the other hand, even like you're a classroom teacher, you're a traditional teacher, you haven't been thinking about having your business or getting anything done online, even just that using social media uh, to build some connections, right? Because teachers, end of the day, you like teaching, sharing, right? Just thinking about social media allow you to share your knowledge with maybe 100 times more of students you can actually ever have, right? So that will excite you because now even more people like students in China, students in like South Africa, South America, Asia, right? They can actually see you now beyond the classroom. Even that, I think that's assignment for all teachers if you can see it differently. What do you think, Robbie?
Yeah, I totally agree. A few things you said there really resonate. First of all, I remember like when I started posting, I started on Instagram actually, and like I was posting these like short English tip videos. My biggest fear was that if one of the lads from my football team comes across one of these videos, like what they're gonna say. So I think like getting over that initial hurdle, one thing that really helped me was reminding myself like why I'm doing this. What's my underlying reason for doing this? And reminding myself of that will actually give me the courage and give me the strength to push through and actually do it scared. And in my case, and I'm sure this is something a lot of you watching can relate to, like as a teacher, my goal was to create good things, good resources that will help good people, and to learn a skill set that will help me reach as many of those people as possible. So, I can work independently. So I can travel. So whenever I was in those really like anxious, nervous moments, and do I really want to post this? Do I really want to make a video? I'd remind myself of that. And it's like, yes, this is worth it. This is worthwhile. This is meaningful. And I could push through it
That's good.
that way. So
Good.
yeah, no, I can
Yeah.
totally relate to what you said there, James.
Absolutely. So I think that's the first part of the session. So why social media, right? There must be a reason for you to use social media, and I think it worth the effort, because it really give us the tool and the channel, right, to reach more people, and
Yeah.
either it's money or impact or collaborations or just support, right? You can get so much from this. Okay, so next part we want to move on to something we just came up today, actually thinking about the whole journey of using social media, because both Robbie and myself have been using social media for 4 or 5 years now, at least. So we have gone through a journey, and we talked about this. We talked about this earlier. We think there are like three stages. Three stages. I'm gonna explain the three stages, and we're gonna talk about each stage so you guys can see that as well. Maybe most of you guys are in stage one or stage two. So let me explain this very quickly. The three stages, right? Stage one is what we just talked about earlier. Like when we first started using social media, we're super nervous. We're just cautious of what we put out there, right? We're not comfortable doing this. Like in stage one, and most of you guys probably there. So maybe I can ask, if you are in stage one, just comment me, yes, anything. So I know how many of you guys are in stage one. Stage one is your new, maybe not new, but it's how you feel about social media is like awkward. It's not very nervous about it. You're not comfortable making posts. You're not comfortable using it, sending messages. Just not very comfortable with it at all. So the stage one, Rita said me. So anyone else like in stage one, like the very initial stage? Yeah, Barbara, yes. I guess so. First of all, I think everyone started in stage one. I don't feel like there might be people really like open, I don't know, really like extroverted. I don't know, even that I think they have to go through stage one, maybe very briefly, maybe shorter, maybe it takes them less time to do that, but they should start stage one because it's new, right? Deanne says I'm pre one. Okay, I don't know what is pre one, but stage one. Okay, Callisto, me, Mikila, nervous with self promotion. Yeah, if you are nervous with the self promotion, you're also in stage one. Okay, so some of you might be okay. Oh, I'm okay using social media with my friends, like comment on their walls and talk to people I know. Then it's fun because no, I guess we are all good with that. But when it comes to like self promoting, sharing your ideas, right? Trying to convincing others with something, trying to like make have using social media for a particular reason, right? You're nervous. You're stage one. Okay, stage one. So a lot of people see me. That's good. All right, stage two is where you're actually comfortable using social media. You're comfortable with self promoting, but you are at a stage where you're comfortable. You're using it, but you don't feel like you're enjoying it, right? I wouldn't say that you're enjoying it, or you really feel like you're good at it. So you're comfortable, you're doing it, you know what to do, you do it, right? I think these are people who probably have taken some training, they've been doing it for some time, they're comfortable, they're doing it very, very consistently. They have no problem posting things, there are no problem making posts, making videos, but they feel like they might not enjoying it enough, or they don't feel like they're good at it enough. So that's stage two. So anyone here at stage two, if you are at stage two, either can comment to me or number two, or anything, so we know you are at stage two. Anyone at stage two? All right. So while I'm waiting you guys to comment, Lisa stage two. Okay, great. So you're comfortable using social media. You're doing things consistently. You don't feel like nervous anymore making posts or connecting with people, sending messages. So that's stage two. All right. Stage three to Anna. Anna is stage two. Okay, great. So stage three is where actually you enjoy using social media. Like you feel like you wanted to use social media. You feel like you're getting better. You feel like you find your voice on social media, which is the kind of the title of this today's session, right? You are finding your voice of using social media. You're comfortable, not only comfortable, you enjoy using it. You have your voice, right? And you're excited to using social media. That's stage three. All right. We have Catherine. Hey, Catherine. Long time no see. Catherine is number two. Florina. I'm comfortable self-promoting in real life, but social media feels totally different. So it's much harder. I guess for Florina, I think it should be easy for you if you're comfortable self-promoting yourself in real life. And what is stopping you from getting better results or doing better on social media? I guess it's just like knowing how to use it. So that's can be quick to fix. Okay, so that's stage two. A lot of you comment. Anyone on stage three besides Robbie and myself? I guess anyone on stage three. So you enjoy using social media. You're kind of excited using social media, and whenever you make a post, you're excited. Oh, I want to see how people feel about this, and that will be stage three. And you have your own voice. Stage three. Anyone on stage three? No, not yet. Hopefully, some of you guys are on stage three. So now, Robbie, anything to add with three stages? Anything that everything I just shared?
Yeah, no, I really like that way of viewing it. And I think for teachers, I think something that can really make that hit home is think of your first class, right? Think of the first time you got in front of a class or the first time you planned a lesson. So if you're anything like me, it probably didn't go that well. It probably felt uncomfortable. It probably felt messy. But you can probably also remember when you got to that point where you walked out of the classroom and you're thinking to yourself, and you're like, you know what? That actually went pretty well. Yeah, I think they enjoyed that. And I think social media is the same. Like the first time you post, it's not going to be amazing. It's not going to feel amazing. There'll be a lot of uncertainty. But to get to the point where you do enjoy it, just like teaching, we've got to go through that messy, uncertain phase. And, that's how you get better. That's how you get clarity. And yeah, so when you were talking, James, it really made me think about kind of teaching. And the thing about TEFL is you get qualified as a TEFL teacher in 4 to 5 weeks doing the CELTA. So no one's really fully ready for a classroom after that. You really do get thrown in at the deep end. And I think anyone nervous about posting on social media now, like think about your early teaching days, but then think about how good it felt when you eventually got to that point where you leave the classroom and you're like, you know what, that was great. They enjoyed it. They learned. I had fun. Right. And I think you can view that social media journey the same way.
Yeah. I guess you made a good point here, Robbie, with teaching. I think a lot of teachers can resonate with that very much because if you're a teacher, right, you must have gone through that stages as well. Going to your first class, and then after a few months or even a few years, you feel like, hey, just like it's just easy, right? It's so easy to do that, and you actually enjoy doing this. Yeah, Robbie.
James, I remember about like 4 weeks into my first teaching job, I was doing 6 hours a day. And maybe even, I think it was 2 3-hour classes. And then 2 days a week, I was doing an extra hour in the evening. So, and then I was coming home from work, and then my whole day was just lesson planning for the next day. Like I was stressed. I could tell the students weren't happy because I was just learning. I didn't really know what I was doing. And like every day for probably about a month, maybe longer, I wished I could go back to my previous job, which was like just stacking shelves in a supermarket. But you know, like I'm so thankful now that I pushed through, because that moment came where I started to enjoy it, and that led to new opportunities. And then that kind of skill set I developed then has kind of stood to me now. So I really do like think social media is the same way. If we can really push through, the rewards are waiting on the other side.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think the reason we wanted to talk about the three stages, a couple of things we want to highlight, things that probably you haven't thought about before, and it will help you get to stage three as soon as possible. So I think the first thing is knowing the three stages, right? And knowing that you are in stage one, so that allows you to see, oh, actually, I can be stage two, I can be stage three. So just like you have a map, it doesn't matter how hard it is right now. Like it's a lot of mountains, like really hard. But if I climb over this mountain, I will get to that point. So okay, if I just keep doing it, I will get to stage two, I will get to stage three, and everyone has gone through the same thing, right? And I shared my story at the beginning. Robbie shared his story at the beginning. Everyone felt nervous, felt like uncomfortable, felt like pushed to do things on social media at stage one. And if you don't give up, right? Hopefully, not many teachers giving up. If you don't give up, you can always reach stage two. And for those of you who are at stage two, you feel like comfortable, but you feel like I'm not enjoying it. If you just keep doing it, you do the right thing, you will get to stage three where you find your voice. You feel like, oh, I'm using social media, really like sharing, like really building a following, really getting a network, getting a lot of people seeing me, support my mission, right? So this kind of idea, number one, why I think that three stages is gonna help you. Number two is from stage one to stage two, we can talk about what we can do maybe to accelerate from stage one to stage two. Stage one is like getting started, it's being nervous, not sure what to do, feel like very uncomfortable. To stage two, feel like more comfortable and okay doing things, knowing what to do things. So in your experience, Robbie, like thinking back, right? When you push yourself through from stage one to stage two, what did you do? Like what helped you to maybe accelerate that process?
I think there are two things. And the first we've already talked about is just finding a way to make yourself take action, right? Because like without that action, we're just not going to get where we want to be. So whatever it is, like reminding yourself of your why, your mission, your purpose, your underlying motivation for doing this, like it all starts there. And then I think the second thing is learning from people who are ahead of you. So
Exactly.
when it comes to creating content, for example, early on, I worked with a few different coaches. James was one of them, and I remember one of the coaches said to me, James, he said, like, great copy, great content. It's not written, it's assembled. And at the time, it didn't really make sense, but it does now. What he was trying to say to me is, when you learn from other people, when you learn from writers and creators who you admire, and you take pieces and you take little parts and you take little bits and you use those bits you like and you put it together and you make it into something new and something unique and something your own, that's a very good way to shortcut the learning curve. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Other people have already figured it out. Other people are ahead of you. Other people are having success. It is possible. So the fastest way is by looking at them and learning from them. And with a piece of content, certainly at the beginning, I think that was really, really helpful. I followed a lot of creators. I subscribed to a lot of different email lists just so I could study, just so I could read and learn. And I created a document. And anytime I saw a line or a hook or a call to action, right, or just a really encouraging sentence, I added it to this document. And whenever I was creating my own post, that was a really useful resource to have. And these little pieces I was able to assemble together into something new and something unique.
Yeah.
So I think they're the two things.
Yeah.
Find a way to take action
Yeah.
and learn from those ahead.
I think we need to make it clear, Robbie. So I mean, in order to move from stage 1 to stage 3, you don't need to do what Robbie did. Okay, so Robbie is a bit more, a little bit crazy about copywriting, and that's what he's good at. He's interested in getting better and better at copywriting. But in order to get from stage 1 to stage 2, you don't need to like subscribe all the email lists, to look at all the posts. You don't have to. But the point I liked about what you said there, Robbie, is from stage 1 to stage 2, you do need to learn from others.
Yeah,
You do need
that's
to
the key.
learn and follow others, take training, right? And see what other people do, and just follow them, just see what other people do. And then that's really the way it goes. And that's why, like in our community, like teachers in the academy, in the inner circle, all these are membership programs. We share a lot of templates. We give them examples to help them move
Yeah,
from stage 1 to stage 2 by following. That's why probably a lot of teachers, when they first start, they post it, and then actually they follow the structure, and they just plug in things themselves. And but the structure itself is kind of assembled from a lot of pieces into it, right? So
yeah,
that actually made a lot of teachers feel even more difficult, because they don't feel that that's dumb. They don't feel like that's dumb, right? But it's okay, because that's stage 1 to 2,
exactly.
and you are trying to get comfortable. That's the priority. Get comfortable, get consistent of posting, of using social media, and then you can be very creative. You can have your voice when you are in stage 3, but you have to get to stage 2 by following others, by getting really comfortable using social media first. So that's the kind of another reason we want to have you guys see, like, let you guys see these stages, how you can get from stage 1 to stage 2, follow others, take training, really like see what other people do. And another thing you said, Robbie, is actually take action, right? If you just set up accounts just looking at what other people do without doing anything, I don't feel like ever you're gonna feel comfortable actually click on the send button or the post button, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't learn how to swim by reading a book on the shore. You gotta get wet. You gotta splash around a little bit. So
Exactly,
yeah, it's
exactly.
the same.
Good, it's good. So now I know a lot of people are in stage 1 and stage 2, so we can talk about from stage 1 to stage 2. So now from stage 2 to really find your voice, like feel good about using social media, feel like you enjoy social media. What did you do, Robbie? Like how that process look like?
Yeah, so I think that's the logical progression from stage one and stage two. Once you have an understanding of what works, what doesn't, you know your goal, you've got kind of a reasonable comprehension of how to put a post together. That's when you can start weaving in and out of the conventions and putting your own personality in there and just having a little bit of fun with it, and it's the same putting a class together, putting a lesson together. Once you've got a winning lesson plan and you know what works, all right, next time I'm gonna put a little bit more of my personality into it this time because I feel confident enough to do that. And like, hey, if you're having fun, chances are your students are having fun. If you're excited and you're enjoying writing a post, chances are someone reading it is going to have a good time reading it too. And
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
so yeah,
So
I think it's like the logical progression.
yeah, a natural progression, but you can still take consistent action, right, to get to there. So one analogy or one example I always think about is when we first like learning how to ride a bicycle. I feel like that's really the first thing. It took me some time to learn how to learn bicycle, right? At first, I was like just listen to my dad or whoever was teaching me, just like, hey, how to ride a bicycle. But once you get kind of comfortable riding yourself, you're doing like crazy things. I remember when I was in middle school, I ride bicycle. I ride back from my home to my school 20 minutes without touching. What do you call it? the what do you call it?
The,
Handle.
the pavement. Oh, sorry. You weren't touching the handlebars.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Without touching the handlebars for 20 minutes from my home. The moment I sit on the bike to even put my back into just park my back without
Mm.
touching the handlebar. So that's like getting your personality into riding a bike, right? So
Totally.
but you wouldn't get there if you don't learn, don't listen to others. How you gonna do it? And then once you get comfortable, just keep practicing. You're gonna get so much better, and then that's a time you can add your personality, your voice into whatever you do on social media.
Totally. And I think the cool thing is, like, I know it can be scary to start to inject your personality into your work. Like, I remember probably for the first 2 years, I was posting pretty consistently, maybe 4 or 5 times a week. And I just thought, no one really cares about me. All people care about is just value, tips, actionable advice. And it was only like eventually I came to terms with, well, actually, there's more to it than this. Like, I kind of have a weird, cheesy sense of humor. I like dad jokes. I like cheesy music. And it was like kind of when I started to like inject a little bit of this into my content, I found like I was starting to attract people who kind of have a similar vibe to me. And that's what it's all about, really. You want to build a community of the people who resonate with your approach, resonate with your personality. And people buy from people at the end of the day. Like, it is about building a business, but when you can put your personality out there at stage 3, you really make that deeper connection where it's not just all about like the value you provide, it's about the person providing the value. And the only way people can see that is when you put your personality in there. So in my case was, I'm going to make a little cheesy joke, or I'm going to do a silly analogy in this because I think it's funny, and if someone else thinks it's funny, we're probably a good fit, to be together. And you will push some people away. Like, it's attract and repel. But if you think about it, that's a win-win. I mean, if you repel people by being yourself, those people aren't a good fit, to work with you anyway. So you'll attract the right people and push away the wrong ones. And that's the beauty of stage 3.
Yeah, I like that too. So we're not here to please everyone,
Oh, you
right?
can't. You can't.
There are
Yeah.
always haters, right? Haters around there. So you cannot please everyone. So that's where you show your personality, attract people
Yeah.
who like you and like working with you. End of the day, right? If you have a business, you have a teaching business, you want to teach and working with people who like you. So it doesn't really hurt you if you repel people who don't like you. So
Exactly. Just on that point about haters, I think, because like social media, like LinkedIn isn't so much like it, but Facebook can be pretty rough sometimes, and Instagram isn't great either. I'm not on Twitter, but I hear it's pretty bad too. I think like that thing about haters and negativity and like maybe a negative response, or I think the way you can make peace with that is if someone like hate is a very strong word, but if someone doesn't vibe with you for being you and you're trying to put value out there and you're just being yourself, and someone like doesn't like that, why would you lose any sleep over that? I think it's much worse if you repel people by trying to be someone else. But if you push people away by trying to be yourself, that's a win-win. You can stand behind what you're
absolutely.
sharing because you're being true to yourself and you're coming from the right place. And if
Yeah,
that pisses some people off,
I think
that's yeah.
that's one of the reasons teachers or everybody is scared of social media, because you can get attacked by people, by others who
Yeah.
you don't know. Right? It just happens, I guess. You just need to be strong enough to hold your ground, to really believe in what you do, right?
Yeah.
And there are always going to be people like that. You can't prevent. Right? I think that's the downside of having the ability to reach so many people there, because there are not always people good enough or nice enough to treat you like that. So
Totally. I think if you surround yourself with the right people too, it can help a lot with
absolutely,
that. You
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Great. So far we talked about why social media, like the benefits and the things why we use social media, right? Then we kind of introduce the 3 stages, and we talk about different stage and what it was like, right, to help you guys. And then we also talk about from some best practices or tips we can share to help you accelerate your process from stage 1 to stage 2, and then stage 2 to stage 3.
Yeah.
So now we'll just want to open up for questions. If you guys have any questions, put it in the chat so we can answer them to help you even more. If you have any comments or any reflection or suggestion, anything you want to share with us, put in the chat as well. So while you guys do that, I wanted to quickly remind you guys one more time in case you join late. All right, so this 2-day teacher online success summit, we're actually gonna invite Robbie back to have a session about social media. Okay, so he's gonna deep dive into more about social media, the tips and the strategies, things that have been working for teachers, and how you can get results on social media. So please come to this link. Maybe I can let me create a link now. So I'll share a link for you to register to join this event. Okay, so as I said, even if you cannot join us for this event, make sure to register so we can send you the recordings. Okay, so I'll send the link now to YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn. So make sure you register for this event, 2-day teacher online success summit. All right. As I said, Robbie gonna spend a little bit more time there talking about social media, what you can do better on social media to get better results. Make sure you join us on June 26, 27. That's gonna be 3 hours each day. All right. Even if you cannot complete the whole day, or you cannot meet, you have to miss one of the days, or you cannot join any of the days. Make sure you register so we can send you the recordings. Okay. All right. So that's about the event. Just want to remind you one more time. Any questions, guys? Any questions? We can stay here for maybe another few minutes. Any questions for me or Robbie about social media? So there's a question from Nikila. Let me see here. Is it better to choose one platform and stick with that, or use a wide range? So what's your thoughts on this, Robbie?
First of all, great question, Michaela. My advice is start with one, right? Because what will happen if you're just getting started, if you're at stage one, to use that way of putting it, you'll spread yourself too thin if you try to like learn and post on multiple platforms. Because like everything, content creation, it's more time consuming at the beginning. So you want to just make it as easy as possible for yourself and just like nail down one particular platform. Now, that doesn't mean you need to stay on that platform forever. Once you get more comfortable and once you're able to create content and use social media more efficiently, then you can think about branching out. But in terms of finding the best platform to start with, the best platform is always the one where your target audience is hanging out. So for example, like if you wanted to focus on helping a particular industry, LinkedIn is really good because it actually gives you search filters so you can like find these people and actively be adding them to your network. So yeah, but the best platform to start is where your ideal prospects, where your ideal clients are hanging out.
It's good. Yeah, I would say the same. Start with the one, get comfortable, get started, then you can scale or expand to others. Makila, it's good. Thanks for that. Another one from Barbara. If you start posting lessons online, how do you monetize this? I feel at stage 2, but where does this lead? Thank you for your time. I'll start with this one, then Robbie can comment too. So there are a lot of things you can post. Lessons, not necessarily the only thing you post, right? So you have to think about the reason you're posting. Are you using the post to build a network, get audience, build trust, or you're trying to sell things, right? And I think I understand why you ask this question. Some teachers say, "Oh, if I share everything, post all of my lessons, why people are still wanting to working with me?" So that's not necessarily true, because it doesn't matter what you do. The students, right? They don't just need lessons or
Exactly.
the PDF or the read materials. Think about YouTube, right? There's so many lessons, free lessons on YouTube, right? Students still need help, like your teaching, your coaching, your support, your guidance, your accountability. There are a lot of more things they need, which are the reasons they take action, they actually get results, not necessarily the lessons, right? So even you want to share lessons online, share it. I wouldn't say people just gonna stop working with you because they already see all your lessons. So that's
Yeah.
kind of my 2 cents. Robbie, anything to add there? Or?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, and I think it's a concern a lot of people have, because a lot of the advice out there about using social media says like to share value, but then naturally that raises the concern. Well, if I try to share all this valuable information, what do people need to pay me for? So I think the way to view social media is, let's say, so I'm not sure I fully understand, like if by lessons you mean like teaching resources for for other teachers, a way you could monetize this is you share a narrow solution to a complete problem. Now, what I mean by that is, let's say you have a series of lessons, right, around a certain theme. Well, then you could share as a freebie or as a preview or as a snippet just one lesson in that series of 10. And then, of course, at the end of that lesson, you could have a little call to action. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please feel free to leave me some feedback. Also, you can check out the rest of this series here, and here's a 25% discount as a thank you for checking out this resource. So by solving that narrow problem, it can actually lead to more sales. And that's the whole psychology around sharing value on social media. You can't possibly share everything. You can't share a complete program in a post, but you can share really actionable advice for a particular situation. And then what that will do is it will build trust, because you demonstrate ahead of time that you're able to help people solve problems, that you have a solution, that you have the knowledge they need. And if they need to learn more, or if they want more personalized help, or they want more support, or they want accountability, then you include a call to action where they can reach out to you if they want to take that next step. So it's about providing that bit of value, opening the door for the right people to walk through at the right time to taking that next step to your paid stuff.
Right. So just a comment on top of that. So I would say, so first of all, I don't think it's necessary to post an actual lesson. Second of all,
Yeah.
even you post an actual lesson online, as I said, no, students are not here just for the actual lesson. No, it's you, like working with you. So that's the missing part. Okay.
So here's what I do in that case, Barbara. Right. So if you're thinking about a lesson, maybe you did this lesson with a learner, and you've got a recording of the lesson. You could take 1 or 2 minutes of that recording where your learner asks you a particular question, and you give them the answer to that question, and then you post that little snippet online. And that's going to accomplish a few things. Number one, it's going to build social proof, because people can see, hey, you're there, you're working, someone else is already working with you. Someone else has made that decision to work with you, so it makes it easier for other people to make that decision. And number two, you're actually there, you're in action, you're in that teaching environment, helping someone else. And by sharing that with your audience, you're demonstrating, ahead of time, you can help them too. So instead of like a 60-minute lesson, like the reality is most people on social media aren't going to invest the time to check it out. A 1-minute snippet where you solve a very specific problem for one of your students.
I like that. Good. Michelle, how do you feel about Facebook tying to Instagram for posting? I'll come on this one. So it's quite different. Instagram is very content driven. So in terms of posting, in terms of content creation, you do have more work, or you have to spend more effort on Instagram with content. Facebook is more networking. So you're gonna be doing more connecting, messaging, compared to Instagram. So I actually just had a call with the client, thinking about whether she need to get on Facebook or Instagram. I was saying it really depends on your preference and what you like or what you enjoy doing more. Are you more like a content creation person? So that's a lot of influencers are on Instagram. They create videos, images to build followers. Or are you more like a communicating, like conversation type of person, right? You want to messaging people, commenting, building a network on Facebook. So it really depends on your preference. Okay. We're gonna move on to the next one. How do you attract an audience? Okay, so this is a little bit more, more kind of deep into the question. I will highly recommend Barbara join the summit, the teacher online summit, and I believe Robbie gonna talk about this a little bit in the summit, right?
Yeah. Let me give it in a nutshell here, though, right? Because you can't leave that unanswered. So there are a couple of things you can do now in 2024 to build an audience, right? So right now, a lot of people are using ChatGPT. They're using AI to generate their content. Now, this is actually a really good thing for those of us who want to go a step further and actually be authentic. So the fastest way, in my opinion, to build an audience now is by highlighting what makes you unique, what makes your approach different, why you're passionate about serving the people you are, why those people tend to get very good results working with you? What makes you different to those language schools or to those other coaches? And when you highlight these things, that's how you're going to kind of cut above 95% of other people out there, because you're brave enough to be authentic and you're highlighting what makes you different and how those differences help your clients get better results. So we can go way deeper on that, but just in a nutshell, that would be it there.
Join the 2-day summit or in the register, you can get to watch the replay of the parts. Rob can share more about this. Bash, about Instagram. Bash, we do have some training in the inner circle about Instagram, okay? So we're not gonna talk about that here. Another one regarding snippet, will it be possible to partially conceal their face, or should I? Yeah, I think definitely get permission before you do anything, right? I think that's important, especially it's video. If you have other people's faces on it, especially if you're in a lesson they pay for, right? I think that's a important for you to get a permission first. And you can tell them, I'm gonna just cover your face. I'm not gonna show your face. You can tell them that, but you still need to get a permission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally agree. You always want, especially like in a classroom where they're paying, and
Exactly.
you definitely want to check with them first. And about concealing their face, yeah, it is possible to do that. So like if you ask them for their permission, like, yeah, sure, but I prefer like if I stayed anonymous. Like there are tools you can use to do that.
It's good. All right, guys. I think that's all the questions. Thank you again for joining this session and spending time with us today. We have so many sessions. As I said, there are. I'm gonna share the event homepage with you one more time. Make sure you follow us on this event homepage. Sync the calendar to your calendar, and also the 2-day events. Make sure you join us as well. Register. Make sure that you register so you can receive replays and join us in the live sessions as well to watch more about social media. And there's so many other things we plan. So we're gonna send you emails about them as well in the following week. Can't wait to see you guys there. And thank you very much. And have a good day. See you in the next session. And follow Robbie. I share Robbie LinkedIn with you guys as well. Follow him online, and I'll see you in the next session. And thank you, Robbie, for being here today.
No, thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. And like, if you feel just a little bit better about social media or creating content now than you did 30 minutes ago, that's a big win for us.
Just a little bit, even just a little bit. That's a big one. Okay. All right, guys. Sure. Thank you very much for being here today. I'll see you in the next one. We'll see you in the next one, and also the online summit. Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.